Welcome back everyone to another video. In this video we're going to be talking about the teaser trailer that Nintendo dropped at E3 that is about the next big Zelda game that is going to be following the events of Breath of the Wild, and I am really excited for this one because it looks as if though Ganondorf is coming back, and I cannot wait for that. Like, I really hope this is actually Ganondorf in the trailer. I can't think of who else it would be, because it has all the descriptions that fit in Ganondorf. The red hair, check. The dark, evil, calamity Ganon black smoke magic around his body, check. And then on top of all that, he also has a Gerudo symbol in his earring, so check. So I'm pretty darn sure this is the mummified version of Ganondorf, which is going to be really cool if that is what we get. I'm looking forward to seeing him back because we haven't seen him since Twilight Princess in a 3D Zelda game, so I'm really hoping that's who that is. Like I said, I can't really think of who else it would be, so fingers crossed that the evil Gerudo King Ganondorf himself has returned. Now, we don't know how much time has actually passed since the events of Breath of the Wild, and that's kind of what's interesting about this, is that usually when Ganondorf is defeated, it usually takes a couple hundred years until he can break a seal or be reincarnated back to, you know, attack and try to take over Hyrule again. But in this case, this is the exact same reincarnation of Zelda and Link, or at least we think it's the same reincarnation of Zelda and Link. It appears to be the same, but who knows? I mean, it could just be a distinctly very similar version. I mean, Zelda does have shorter hair in this one, so maybe it is a different incarnation. We just don't know it yet, but if I had a guess, I would say this is the same incarnation of Link and Zelda from Breath of the Wild, because everything else looks exactly the same. Even the field looks the exact same from the few shots of Hyrule Field we get. Everything looks pretty much the same. So I want to put my money on it being the same incarnation, but you never know. But if it is the same incarnation, it is kind of interesting to know that Ganondorf would come back so early when that's not usually what he does. But at the same time, he's never gone from being a beast to becoming another beast like he did in Breath of the Wild. You know, in Breath of the Wild, he was like that spider thing, and then he became the great, you know, beast Ganon. So that's interesting. Whereas now he goes from beast to Ganondorf, so he's kind of doing it backwards from what he traditionally does. That is, if this is in fact Ganondorf. Now, moving aside from Ganondorf for a second, let me talk about another thing that interests me in this trailer, and it's at the very end of the trailer. We see Hyrule Castle rise up from the ground, and this could mean a number of things. One, it could mean, you know, Link gets knocked out of the castle, Ganondorf then takes Zelda and he makes the castle rise up, and now we have to figure out a way to get up there by collecting something to get up there. I don't know. That's one option. Another option is that we're going to another world, you know, kind of like Termina, and that we're going to explore this new world and that's where we're going to go. Or what if we do like a Mario Galaxy type of thing, and it's like Ganondorf takes the castle to space, and now we're doing that. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but that'd be kind of funny if it was. But another thing that I do think is possible is that we're going to go back to like Skyloft or the city in the sky from Twilight Princess. Like, we're going to go back to that kind of area, but an evolved version of that. And it's going to be kind of like going back to where it all started, you know? We're going to go back there, and it's going to be Zelda, it's going to be Link, and instead of Demise, it's going to be Ganondorf, a mummified Ganondorf. So, a lot of things that I'm interested to see. What kind of role will all the characters play? It looks like in the trailer, Zelda and Link get separated at some point. So, I'm not really sure if Zelda will actually be in the game a lot, or if it's going to be like Breath of the Wild where she was hardly ever in it except for a couple flashbacks. I don't really know, but it will be interesting to see what kind of role she actually does play. And I think another thing I'm interested to know is what sort of role will the Triforce play in this game, because in Breath of the Wild there wasn't really much mention of it or anything. I think it just showed up at the end to seal away Ganon. That was about it. It was just used to kind of get rid of Calamity Ganon. So I'm kind of hoping that the Triforce has a bigger role. And also dungeons. I really hope that this game has traditional dungeons, because the Divine Beasts were okay, but I really like traditional dungeons that have keys and mini bosses and several different type of enemies and interesting puzzles and maps and compasses and all the stuff that the 3D Zelda dungeons had. So hopefully we do that again, and not the Divine Beast where every one of them's kind of the same. You just turn on 5 terminals and fight a boss that looks pretty much like the last one. I'm hoping we have uniqueness in the dungeons and things of that nature. And this game also looks like it's taking the Twilight Princess Majora's Mask route, and it's going to be a little darker than the last one. Those are just a couple of things that I noticed in this trailer. It's not a very long trailer, it's a pretty short trailer, but another thing I did notice real quick, whenever you do see the castle in that small section when it's going up, you don't actually see any Divine Beast anywhere in the field. So that's interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and in this video here, I will put the actual trailer with the audio at the end so you can watch that. But I want to end it here, and I'll see you all in the next one. See you then.